Don't know how to read tab. The only schooling I had was 2 years of classical, around 12 years old. And then at 14, I think I had 1 year of jazz. But I couldn't do it. My mind just, I didn't like the you know, having to remember the notes and the scales and stay in there. I admire a lot of players like, you know, Chris Broderick from Megadeth now, Jeff Loomis from Nevermore, and just all the great guitar players that are more guitar shred solo gods. You know, the guys that know all the scales and the sweeps and arpeggios and all that. But I'm back at the right hand, being just a street guitar player. You know, just playing the Slayer Metallica right hand, and left hand is just all feel and sloppiness too, messiness, missing notes and whatever. That kind of raw stuff like Angus Young and Glenn Tipton, but just I try to do it a little bit faster. That's pretty well it. So in other words, I don't know the names of a lot of the scales or the modes, really, honestly. A lot of people look at me and go, yeah, you're lying. You know. And no, I don't. I just never had any reason to learn them. You know, I've never been a session guitar player, and I've never really taught guitar lessons, so just had no reason to. I don't have a lot of what do we call it, repertoire? I don't have a lot of knowledge. Yeah, I don't have a lot of, you know, and I go back again to Angus. He's very straightforward, and this is what he does, and this is, yeah, I'm similar in that way, where I just take the Tipton, Angus Young, and the different blues stuff I learned on my left hand, and just go with it, you know. I just do it. I practiced it when I was younger and got faster at it, and when you slow a lot of my solos down, they're just blues, you know, basic blues licks. So I don't have a big closet full of knowledge for my left hand. I just play. And then sometimes when I don't know what to play, I'll make a squeal or a, if I don't know what to do. Gives me some time to think. Some solos I improvise in the studio, and I'll do maybe 10, 12, 13 takes, and I'll pick one. And if one is really good, but there's a part in there that sucks, that's a mistake, but I really like the rest of it, I'll go and see if I can cheat and take a piece from one of the other ones and put it in there. And if I can't, then I just do it again, because usually I can't relearn some of the solos. When you just hit the record button and go, it's almost impossible to do it again. Other times, it's a structured thing where I sit down and I build it. I start from the first note and I work my way till I get to the end. And I don't like doing it that way because it's not fun. You know, it just takes a long time. But it also, in the end, usually it sounds really good. Like it sounds like, wow, that took a lot of thought, a lot of, you know, feel and a lot of thought. But you know, in the last 4 or 5 albums that I've done with my band, I've just said, yeah, roll the tape, just go, you know, see what happens. Well, they're not really complex. A lot of, if they're slow, like there's a song Alice in Hell, you know, where there's really simple stuff, like Iron Maiden style stuff. Well, all I do is I don't use theory. I just move 3 frets up and do the same thing with the other guitar. You know, there's no thought out process. Sometimes I can hear, okay, this harmony sounds better than the other. I just do it by listening, not by thinking. But then there's some solos I do where, and back to Slayer again, they're famous for playing solos that are very original and unique and out of tune, out of scale, out of time, out of everything. But they work. And sometimes I'll play a very fast solo, and I'll say, okay, let's do the same thing and move my hand 3 frets up. But exactly the same, not a proper harmony, just the same thing, 3 frets, and it works. And sometimes I'll have a simple guitar part, and I'll want to do a harmony, but I'll make a mistake, or I'll try different notes, and hey, that sounds good. And then guitar players will think that I was using some kind of theory or a scale, but it's not. It's just ears. Well, sometimes people, I know this, sometimes schooled players will do a harmony, and this happens to me a lot when I work with other musicians. They think because it's a proper harmony that is written down in a book, that it works. And sometimes I'll go, I don't care if it says it's a proper harmony. It sounds like shit. So why don't you try a different note? And you know, that's pretty well. So schooled is great, and I would recommend, you know, young guitar players. I would say, if I had to give advice for young guitar players, try to, if you can put yourself through it, try to do 2 or 3 years of classical guitar. That's my advice, because that gives you the proper hand positioning technique. And you can go, if you're into playing faster stuff or you just want to learn more about the fretboard, it gives you the fourth finger. A lot of guitar players can't use their pinky finger, whereas my pinky is as strong as my first finger. So classical guitar teaches you this. And, of course, you can stretch all the way like that if you needed to. I can't do that, but I never use it. But yeah, I'd say take a couple years of classical and listen to Slayer.